name is Raven Smith. How are you? I am doing a fundraising video and hopefully you'll find this really intriguing. I have 3 activities I'm going to talk about. One of them is what time is. Another one is why there must be a God, and also love thy enemies, which is a spiritual truth that's going to be taught at the workshop. The workshop activities are going to have many, especially on Saturday. Saturday's a big day. And one that's exciting about Saturday is every workshop activity is going to have a different teacher, and this is going to help keep kids engaged because they'll have a different personality and a different sense of humor and body language, and it just adds a little uniqueness to each portion. But 15 to 20 activities on Saturday, so it's pretty intense. But it's really engaging, they're really relational, and that's why I want to give you a brief description of 3 activities so you can kind of see, just get a little taste of how amazing these workshops are going to be. So first, I'm Raven, and I'm a mother. I am a college graduate. I started off when I went to college, I wanted to be an engineer, and I dropped out 2 classes shy of my degree. I had strength and materials and second course in drafting, and yes, I dropped out, and yes, it was a very foolish thing to do. So then I ended up getting a degree in sociology. So I have a vast educational background. I work with teenagers in drug treatment. I have a heart for the youth of all ages. And so I hope I don't sound too nerve-wracking. I'm actually talking to an inanimate object, something I don't have a lot of training in. So please bear with me. Prophetic word that we received about these camps. So these workshops are going to happen all across America. There will probably be people who rent land. There will be churches that will do this. There will be camps that are set up. They're going to do this program, and then God's also going to build camps. So this fundraiser is to build the very first camp. In Charisma News recently, they said that there were some of our youth that were losing their faith, and they're feeling uncomfortable and conflicted with their atheist friends, and they're learning a lot of scientific theories that conflict with what they know. So if your child comes home and says to you, Mom, you know, Earth is 6 million years old according to scientists, and the Bible says it was made in 6 days, how are you going to answer them? This workshop, that's just one activity of many that this workshop's going to answer. The Bible says you perish without knowledge. So we want these kids ready. We want them ready and feeling strong in the faith and actually able to go back into the classroom and present some of these new ideas. So time. So let's talk about time. So if your child came home and they asked you, Mom, Dad, the science teacher is saying Earth is millions of years old, and we read the Bible and God says He did it all in 6 days, and I'm confused, what do I do? And you may know the answer and you may not know the answer. A day in 1,000 years is not a math equation, it's not a perfect probability. What it is just letting you know that God rules time, which means He can do what He wants in a day. So if you look at this clip, I'm sure you've seen fast motion growth, and you can look at it and get an idea of what I'm saying. When God made everything in one day, He made it in one day. So in this workshop, there's going to be somebody acting like God, and they're going to have a seed, and they're going to do a lot of improv, and they're going to sit there and they're going to wait on the seed, and they're going to why won't this thing grow? Just kind of show an example of what if God actually waited on time to do something. It'll be done fun in an engaging way, but just presents how ridiculous that idea is. God rules time, and basically when He did everything in a day, He did everything in a day. God can take a 1,000,000-year forest and bam, it's there. So He rules time. He makes things happen at a very fast rate because He rules it. He does it how He chooses. So 1,000,000-year-old stuff can happen in just a blink of an eye. That's just a brief summary of that activity. But it answers the question, so kids can come back and say, yeah, God made 1,000,000-year-old stuff like that because He's God. So there's the answer. This is a spiritual truth that they're going to learn. Love thy enemies. One of the things that's really interesting about this activity is it's indirectly but directly teaching it, but it's doing it relationally in a way, I don't even know if that's a word, relational, and it's engaging kids' hearts from here. And so it's showing the love in the law. The love in the law. Yes, there's a rule in the law, which is wonderful, but the love in the law is really the part where you just like, yes, I get it. So love the enemy. So here's the activity. Basically, there's a scenario, and there's a mother on her deathbed, and she's been given a few days left to live, and that's horrific. And she gets this dream on top of that, that her child is going to do something horrible in his lifespan. And she has already made arrangements for somebody to care for her child. And so she wants to have a conversation with this person. Basically, if you think about it, she's going to be pleading, or he, whatever parent is on the deathbed, please don't give up on my kid. I want them to know Jesus. They're going to do this horrible thing, da 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 da. And whatever that is, please don't give up on them. Please keep loving them. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have volunteers hand out 3x5 cards to the kids. And then they're going to have a scenario, and they're going to write a letter. I'm only going to ask for a few volunteers. So anybody that gets a card that they don't want to write a letter on, they can not do it or pick another 3x5 card. The examples could be, my kid's going to grow up being a murderer, a robber, a rapist. I mean, big stuff, right? What'll happen is we'll get 2 teenagers on the stage. One teenager is going to be the parent, and the other teenager is going to be the one that's going to take care of the child after the parent has passed away. So imagine being on stage, you have 2 teenagers up there, and the teenager that's the parent is going to be holding a doll, and the doll will weigh like the same weight as a toddler. So she's going to read this letter and basically, saying what she wrote when she was sitting in the audience, she or he. And then the other parent's going to hear the letter, and they're going to say, I'm going to take care of the child. I'm going to love your child. And then she's going to hand the child to the parent. And then we'll do a few more examples, but it'll be very moving. But it's an indirect way of showing the love your enemies, because the truth is, some of us have had horrific things happen to us and other people that we love. And we have to forgive, because God loves that person and wants that person to come home. So once you imagine your child doing something horrific and you're like, wow, I want them to go home, you get another added color, another perspective of love in that law. So that's the beauty of that. And we're going to have so many like this. Really engaging skits, theater. And just to put this in there real quick, one of the exciting things about this workshop is because there are some scientific activities that are done, Christians can bring their atheist friends, because that's a place where it's a ground where most atheists will be like, okay, I'm willing to be open to hear your scientific view, even from a Christian perspective. And it's just, that's another way to get people of different faiths into these camps. These workshops are not, it's not a scientific workshop, just want to clarify that. These workshops is probably 80% spiritual truth and 20% scientific theory. But it gives them a grounding, so when they walk out of these camps, they're ready to walk into the classroom with the knowledge they need to present, because basically they're learning one way of thinking in these classrooms. The teachers are teaching scientific theories like they're truth, and there's not a lot of people in the classroom saying, I have a contrary view and I can prove it. And that's really exciting. Okay, so why there must be a God. And this activity is going to have a fog machine. Imagine clouds on the ground, and it's dark, and there's a big screen and on stage, and it's going to have the universe, and it's going to present this audio that someone else is going to narrate, because I really believe it has to be live and not a recording. And then they'll be in the background, and there's just going to be space and all this wonderful animation of time and space. I coined the phrase years ago. It's called the eternal theory. You come to one question, and that is something eternal had to do everything. And that's what the eternal theory is. And the reason why is because nothing can't create anything. And I do realize science changed nothing and made it into something's really there, but I'm talking about nothing void of anything. So anyway, that's the big question. And so that's the workshop is going to address that logically. Here we go. So the Big Bang Theory, here we're going to make it really brief for you. So bang, here goes the Big Bang. But on the stage, there'll be somebody standing there, and they'll draw a line right there, and they're going to ask the audience, was something moving in the universe right then and there to make that happen? And everyone's going to say yes, because obviously something was doing something for it to go bang. I mean, it's a huge, massive explosion. So before it exploded, there was something moving, right? And then they'll ask, well, at this point, you know, was something moving here for this to happen, and then was something moving here, and as you can see, and then now, right now, I'm going to show you a quick GIF file, kind of like the explosion getting smaller and smaller and smaller, so you can just kind of see that. And then you come to this one point. When something always existed, it means it had no birth. It means it had no starting place. I mean, it just existed on its own. Then you come to faith. That's important. That's important to come to that conclusion. Then after they come to that conclusion, then we start doing other deductive reasonings, like, for instance, did we need a brain to do this stuff? So all this is part of that workshop, and it's very summarized, but at least it gets them to question things. I hope you can go to my website, rebuketheworld.com, and download the PDF. It's about 100 pages long. I've been doing monthly ministry ideas for over a year. I get hits from all across the world, and it's really exciting. People come by and stop by and read the ministry ideas. God's put a special calling in my heart for the youth, and so working out in nature is my dream. And the prophetic word is also that these kids are going to walk out of this camp ready. They're going to be ready. Kids will be ready for missions abroad and in their homes and their neighborhoods and their schools. And that's exciting. We want our kids grounded with knowledge. We don't want them in the classroom hearing all this and not knowing what to say. They're going to know what to say. And so that's amazing. So anyway, thank you for your time. There are links in there where you can sew. You can contact me if you have any questions. Everything's out in the open. You can go to the website. You can see the PDF. I've been doing this for a while. And it's been a dream for over 20 years. And it's so exciting to see it actually coming. This is the year that we're going to start building that camp. And yes. So anyway, bless you. I love you. Take care of yourself. Contact me if you have any questions. Take care. God bless.